You can't expect your life to change if you keep doing the same things every day. The truth is, your habits are the reason you're either stuck or growing. Small daily choices can completely shift your mindset and your future. Change isn't always hard, but it does take honesty and action. Most people wait for a perfect moment to get their life together, but nothing changes until you do. It only takes one focused week to realize how powerful consistency and intention really are. Today, we'll talk about the 5 habits that changed my life in just 7 days. These aren't random tips. These are real, practical lessons that challenged how I thought, how I moved, and how I treated myself. You'll learn what I did differently, how it helped, and why it worked fast. If you're ready to break out of your own cycle and finally feel in control again, then let's dive in. Number 1. Wake up early and plan your entire day. Most people don't realize just how much of their life is slipping through their fingers until years have passed and they've got nothing real to show for it. The truth is, most of us aren't lazy, we're just lost in our own routine. You wake up late, maybe rush through a cup of coffee, scroll on your phone, get into your day halfway alert, and then wonder why it feels like life is pulling you around by the collar. You don't feel in control. You're reacting to everything. And that, right there, is the beginning of wasted years. I've seen people with great talent, incredible potential, but they're trapped in chaos. Not because they're bad people, because they never learned to take charge of their day before the day takes charge of them. That's why I made one small change, one powerful habit that changed the way I lived my life in just 7 days. I started waking up early and planning my entire day. And I mean the whole day. It's not about being a morning person. That's not the point. It's about owning your time. Because time is your life. How you spend it decides your direction. When I started waking up early, before the noise of the world, something inside me shifted. The quiet of the morning gave me room to think clearly, to breathe, and to move with intention. It wasn't easy. That first morning, the bed pulled at me like a magnet. It whispered, "Just 10 more minutes." But I got up. And when I did, I realized something. No one was calling, no one was texting, no one was demanding anything. That time belonged to me. For once I wasn't rushing. I was leading. I sat down, grabbed a notepad, and started writing out what my day was going to look like. And I didn't write a long list that would overwhelm me. I wrote with clarity. I asked, what matters today? I broke the day into blocks. I scheduled the time for my work, time for my meals, time for learning, time to move my body, time to rest. And you know what happened? I didn't feel scattered anymore. I didn't end the day wondering where the hours went. I ended it with a sense of progress. That's what most people are starving for, not comfort, not distraction progress. A sense that you're actually getting somewhere. When you wake up early and plan your day, you're making a promise to yourself. You're saying, I'm not going to drift through this life. I'm going to steer. And that gives you a different kind of power. Not the kind that comes from money or titles. The kind that comes from being in control of yourself. That power changes how you walk, how you speak, how you treat others. You show up different because you feel different. You see, when you don't plan your day, your mind stays foggy. You bounce from one thing to the next. You forget what matters. You lose hours doing things that don't move you forward. But when you wake up early and plan, your brain starts working for you. It knows what comes next. It's not guessing, and that saves you energy. You're not burning mental fuel making little decisions all day. You already made them when your head was clear, when your heart was focused. That's the key. Most of the world wakes up and reacts. But the people who succeed consistently, meaningfully, they wake up and direct. I remember one morning, just a few days into this new habit, I looked at my plan and noticed how much more peace I felt. There was less noise in my head. I didn't have to wrestle with guilt or stress because I already knew what needed to be done. And I had built room for my life into my schedule. That's what planning really gives you, space to live with purpose. You don't just work. You grow. You connect. You reflect. You enjoy the small moments because you're not always behind. And this isn't about perfection. Some days you'll get it right. Some days you'll miss a few things. That's okay. The point is you're building direction. You're practicing ownership. Every time you wake up early and plan, you're strengthening the muscle of discipline. And that discipline spills into every part of your life. You stop letting your emotions run the show. You stop depending on motivation because now you've got structure. And structure wins when motivation fades. After a week of this, I didn't just feel more productive, I felt more alive. There was something deeply satisfying about looking at the end of my day and knowing I chose this, I showed up for this. That builds your self-respect. And self-respect is the foundation of a powerful life. You don't need someone to cheer you on or pat you on the back. You know what you're doing. You know where you're going. You don't feel lost anymore. You've got a compass. And here's something you need to hear. If you don't take control of your mornings, your whole life starts to feel out of sync. You wake up late, rush through tasks, skip meals, forget priorities, and end the day exhausted but unfulfilled. That's a recipe for burnout. That's how people lose their drive. But it doesn't have to be that way. You don't have to change your whole life overnight. You just have to decide that your time matters, that your day deserves direction, that your life deserves leadership, and that leadership starts with you. Start with 30 minutes earlier than usual. No pressure to wake up at 5 a.m. Just start where you are. Use that time to sit with your thoughts. Map out your day. Prioritize what matters. Be honest with yourself. Make room for growth, not just busyness. Make room for connection, not just checklists. And be consistent, because repetition builds belief. The more you do it, the more natural it feels. And when it becomes a part of you, your life begins to shift. You show up different in the world. You stop waiting for change, and you start creating it one morning at a time. Number 2, write down 3 goals every single morning. Most people wake up and go straight into the same loop, check their phone, glance at the clock, rush into the day half aware, and hope something good happens. But here's the truth. Hope without direction is just wishful thinking. That's what most of the world is doing, wishing. They're not setting goals. They're not thinking ahead. They're moving through life without any real plan. They want change, but they're not telling their mind what to focus on. They're not giving themselves a target to aim for. And when there's no target, there's no drive, no urgency, no clarity. That's how years pass in survival mode. That's how people stay stuck in the same place, going through the motions. And it's painful because deep down, you know you're capable of more. That's why I started doing something so simple, it almost sounds too small to matter. But it changed everything. Every single morning, before I did anything else, I wrote down 3 clear goals. Just 3. Not a bucket list, not a dream board. 3 specific goals that mattered to me right now. Goals that moved me forward, not just kept me busy. And the moment I started doing that, I realized something powerful. My mind finally had a job to do. It wasn't wandering anymore. It was working. Because when you set a goal, even a small one, you're telling your mind what matters. You're giving it a direction. And once you have direction, every part of your day starts to line up with it. You don't need to write down 100 things. That only confuses you. 3 goals are enough. They force you to focus. They push you to think clearly. And the best part? They don't have to be giant goals. One could be personal, one could be professional, and one could be something simple, like improving your diet or having a hard conversation you've been avoiding. The point isn't how big the goal is, it's that it's clear. And when it's clear, it becomes real. There's a certain power in seeing your goals on paper. When you write something down, it leaves your head and enters your life. It becomes more than just a thought. It becomes a commitment. You see it. You feel it. You connect with it. You can't ignore it. And when you do this every morning, you're building a habit of direction. You stop drifting. You stop waiting for the right time. You start building purpose into your day one decision at a time. Now here's what most people get wrong. They think goals are just long-term dreams. They say, my goal is to retire early, or my goal is to be successful. That's fine, but it's not helpful for your day. You need goals that connect with your current moment. You need something actionable, something you can work on today. So instead of saying, be healthier, write, cook one clean meal today. Instead of saying, get rich, write, pitch 2 clients by noon. You break it down so your brain can get to work immediately. Because action doesn't come from vague ideas, it comes from sharp, specific goals. The first time I did this, I felt awkward. It almost seemed pointless. But then, around day 3, I started to notice how differently I was moving through the day. I wasn't checking my phone for distractions. I wasn't wasting time deciding what to do next. My energy had direction. My thoughts had purpose. And the best part? I started to feel proud of myself again. Not because everything was perfect, but because I was building trust with myself. I said I'd do something, and I followed through. That's how confidence grows. Not from hype, from follow-through. Every morning, when you write down those 3 goals, you're not just organizing your day, you're training your mind to lead your life. You're rewiring your brain to search for solutions instead of problems. You stop thinking about what's going wrong, and you start focusing on what you're building. That mindset shift alone can change your mood, your habits, your results, your identity. And don't underestimate how emotional this process can be. Sometimes, writing down your goals makes you face what you've been avoiding. Maybe you've been stuck in a job you hate. Maybe you've been hiding from your own potential. Maybe you're scared to try again because you failed last time. But when you write a goal down, you're confronting that fear. You're saying, I'm not going to sit in this any longer. I'm going to move. And that's powerful. That takes courage. That's how transformation begins, not with noise or hype, but with honesty. You'll notice that the more you do this, the sharper your goals become. At first it might feel like guesswork, but by the end of the week, your clarity improves. You'll wake up with more fire because now your brain knows what it's waking up for. You won't need to scroll for stimulation. You won't need to fake motivation. You'll have a reason to move, a reason to push, and that reason will be coming from you, not from the world, from your own values, from your own purpose. You start becoming the kind of person who doesn't just think about improvement, you pursue it. You build a quiet kind of discipline, and that discipline becomes your edge. While others are reacting, you're directing. While others are waiting for the weekend, you're stacking wins, one goal, one day, 1 week at a time. And when the month ends, you don't feel regret. You feel momentum. You feel progress. And that feeling is addictive. This habit doesn't take hours. It takes minutes. But the return is life-changing. Because your goals don't just organize your time, they shape your future. What you write down every morning becomes the life you start creating. It shifts your focus from problems to solutions, from chaos to control. You stop feeling like a victim of your circumstances, and you start feeling like the architect of your own path. And over time, those 3 goals start stacking. You start solving things you used to ignore. You start building habits you used to struggle with. You stop living in reaction, and you start leading your own experience. This is how real change happens. Not through giant leaps, but through clear, consistent direction. Day by day, goal by goal, page by page. And you'll notice something else too. When you start hitting those small goals, your identity shifts. You don't see yourself the same way anymore. You start saying things like, I follow through. I create results. I lead my life. And when that belief takes root, you stop settling. You start raising your standards. You demand more from yourself, not because you're chasing perfection, but because now you believe in who you're becoming. And that belief will carry you through seasons that motivation can't. That belief becomes your fire. Number 3, avoid your phone for the first 2 hours. It's hard to admit, but many people start their day by immediately reaching for their phone. They open their eyes, and before their mind is fully awake, they're scrolling through news, social media, messages feeding their attention to 100 little distractions. This is a silent thief of time and energy that steals more from your life than you realize. Most people don't recognize how much those first few moments after waking set the tone for the entire day. When you start with a phone, you start with other people's problems, opinions, and distractions. You hand over control before you've even begun. You're reacting to what pops up instead of leading your own morning. That habit kills your focus and your energy. It makes your mind cloudy, anxious, and scattered. And yet it's so easy to fall into because it feels normal. It feels natural. But here's the reality. Your phone is a tool, not your master. If you want to change your life, the very first thing you have to do is break that automatic reach for your phone. For me, avoiding my phone for the first 2 hours was a game changer. It wasn't a small thing. It was a complete shift in how I start my day. Imagine waking up and not rushing to feed your mind junk information. Imagine giving your brain space to think clearly. That silence, that stillness, it's a luxury most people don't allow themselves anymore. When you stay away from your phone, you're not just avoiding distractions. You're protecting your focus. You're honoring your mind. You're setting yourself up to lead your day instead of letting it lead you. It's no secret that phones are designed to hook you in. The endless scroll, the notifications, the likes and comments, they all pull your attention away, and before you know it, an hour or more has passed. That hour is your life being pulled into someone else's agenda. It's your thoughts being hijacked. And often you don't even realize it because it happens so naturally. That's why it takes discipline. It takes a clear choice. You have to decide you're worth more than the noise. The first 2 hours after waking are the most powerful hours of your day. Your mind is fresh, your body is ready to move, your energy is full. If you give those hours to your phone, you waste that power. But if you use those hours for yourself, whether it's planning your day, exercising, reading, or simply sitting quietly, you recharge your mind and body in a way no screen ever can. You build mental strength, you grow clarity, you develop peace. And peace is the foundation for everything good in your life. One of the hardest parts about avoiding your phone is the habit itself. It's like a reflex. Your hand moves before your brain tells it to. Changing that takes awareness and intention. That means creating new routines. For example, putting your phone in another room, turning it off, or using an old-fashioned alarm clock instead of your phone's alarm. These simple changes make it easier to resist the pull. The first few mornings may feel uncomfortable, like you're missing something important. But that discomfort is just your brain adjusting to new boundaries. And those boundaries are what protect your day. When you avoid your phone in the morning, you're also breaking the cycle of comparison and distraction. Social media feeds often make you feel like you're behind or not enough. They flood your mind with endless images and opinions that can drain your confidence and energy before you even start working on your own goals. Removing yourself from that for just 2 hours gives you freedom. Freedom to focus on what matters to you. Freedom to connect with your own thoughts and feelings. Freedom to prepare your mind for the day ahead. There's something powerful about starting your morning in real time. Without a screen, you tune into yourself. You notice your breath, your body, your thoughts. You connect with your surroundings instead of a digital world. You build awareness of what you really want, what you really feel, and what you really need. That awareness creates choice. And choice is the gateway to control. When you have control, you have power. And that power can change everything. People often ask, but won't I miss something urgent or important? Here's the reality. 99% of what pops up in those early hours is not urgent. If something truly needs your immediate attention, it will find another way to reach you. The world won't fall apart if you wait an hour or two. In fact, you might handle things better after you've had time to think clearly rather than reacting impulsively to a notification while still groggy and unfocused. I won't pretend it's easy. Avoiding your phone for the first 2 hours requires mental toughness. It means saying no to instant gratification. It means standing up against habits you've built over years. But the payoff is enormous. You reclaim your morning. You reclaim your mind. You reclaim your ability to focus and produce real results. You replace the noise with calm, the chaos with clarity, and the distractions with intention. In those 2 hours, you can set the tone for a productive, meaningful day. You can plan your goals, move your body, read something inspiring, or simply sit quietly and breathe. You give your mind a chance to wake up gently instead of jumping straight into the storm of information. You create space to think, create, and act without interruption. And when you finally pick up your phone, you do it from a place of strength, not weakness. You control your phone instead of letting it control you. After committing to this habit for a week, you'll notice your stress levels drop. Your focus will sharpen. You'll feel less scattered and more grounded. Your mornings will feel richer, fuller, and more meaningful. You'll stop starting your day with a flood of other people's demands and start it with your own purpose. And that shift alone can change how you feel about your life. So this habit isn't just about avoiding a device. It's about protecting your mind. It's about reclaiming your time and your energy. It's about waking up fully and living intentionally from the moment your eyes open. It's about taking your power back before the world tries to steal it. This simple change can build the foundation for everything else you want to create. Because focus is the root of success. Without focus, nothing grows. But with it, you become unstoppable. If the first 2 hours feel impossible, start smaller. Try 30 minutes without your phone, then gradually increase. Notice how much more present you feel, how much clearer your thoughts are, how much easier it is to move through your day without distractions pulling at you. This is not just a habit, it's a lifeline, a way to stand strong in a noisy, distracted world. And when you master this, you build the confidence to master everything else. Number 4, drink a full glass of water after waking. Most people wake up feeling sluggish, groggy, and sometimes even a little foggy. That's not just the body needing rest, it's the body literally begging for something essential that's missing. After hours of sleep, your body is dehydrated, and this dehydration impacts your energy, your focus, and even your mood. When you don't give your body the water it needs right after waking, you're starting your day behind. That means less energy, slower thinking, and a weaker immune system. Yet many people ignore this simple fact. They reach for coffee, breakfast, or their phone before they give their body what it actually needs: first, water. Drinking a full glass of water right after waking is one of the most underrated habits that can shift your entire day. It's not glamorous. It's not complicated, but it's powerful. Water is the foundation of life, and when you supply it immediately, you jumpstart your metabolism and help flush out toxins your body has collected overnight. That helps clear your mind, raise your energy, and prepare your body to handle the day's demands. Without water, your organs struggle to function at their best, your digestion slows down, and your mental clarity diminishes. The difference between starting your day dehydrated and hydrated is huge. The challenge is that many people don't realize how thirsty they are first thing in the morning. You might feel okay, but your body is already behind. That slow drag you feel, that mental fog, it's a direct result of being dehydrated. When you drink a full glass of water, you hydrate your brain cells and muscles, and you give your body a fresh start. It's like filling a car's gas tank before a long trip. Without fuel, the car sputters and struggles. Your body works the same way. There's also a mental component here that's often overlooked. Drinking water right away sends a signal to your brain that you're taking care of yourself. It's a small victory, a simple act that builds momentum. This act alone builds confidence that you're in charge of your health and your day. It's a way of saying to yourself, I'm committed to feeling good today. This sets a tone of respect for your body and your mind that carries through every choice you make after. The impact of this habit grows over time. When you do this consistently, you'll notice your skin looks better, your digestion improves, and your headaches disappear. You'll have more energy without the crash that comes from caffeine or sugar. You'll think more clearly and feel less stressed. It's amazing how something so basic can touch so many areas of your life. This habit doesn't just affect the morning, it supports your entire system, your health, your productivity, and your mood. It's important to emphasize the quantity here. A full glass isn't a sip or a few drops. It means a generous amount, enough to make a real difference. About 8 to 16 ounces is ideal depending on your body size. The goal is to rehydrate fully, not just wet your lips. Many people miss out on the benefits because they only take a quick sip and think they've done their part. This habit demands intention and follow-through. Some people struggle to drink water first thing because they're not used to it, or because the water feels cold or hard to swallow. There are ways around this. Lukewarm or room temperature water is easier to drink. Adding a squeeze of lemon or a pinch of salt can help balance the taste and add some minerals that support hydration. These small adjustments can make it more enjoyable and easier to turn into a lasting habit. It's worth noting what this habit does for your metabolism as well. When you drink water early, you're essentially waking up your digestive system. It starts moving and working efficiently. This reduces feelings of bloating and helps your body process breakfast better. You feel lighter, more energized, and ready to take on the day. Without water, your digestion stays sluggish and your energy dips, even if you eat a good meal. Psychologically, this habit also helps build self-discipline. It's simple, but requires you to pause and make a conscious choice before jumping into the chaos of the day. That pause creates space for mindfulness. That mindfulness creates awareness of your body's needs. And awareness is the first step toward real change. When you can pause and meet your body's needs immediately, you're training yourself to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. The habit of drinking water first thing also connects you with your body's natural rhythms. Many people live disconnected from their physical needs. They push through tiredness, hunger, or dehydration without noticing. By consciously drinking water right after waking, you start tuning into what your body really wants. This connection builds a stronger relationship with yourself and deepens your understanding of how daily choices impact your health. Over time, this habit creates a ripple effect. When you start your morning hydrated, you're less likely to overeat or crave sugary drinks. You feel more balanced, less anxious, and more in control. Your energy stays steady rather than spiking and crashing. Your skin glows more consistently. Your mental fog clears. Your resilience to stress strengthens. These benefits aren't just about feeling good, they influence your work, your relationships, and your confidence. You don't need a fancy water bottle or a complicated routine. Just a simple glass filled with clean water and a commitment to drink it every morning as soon as you open your eyes. It's that straightforward, yet so many overlook it. And that's the beauty of simple habits. They're accessible to everyone, but powerful enough to make a huge difference. In moments when you feel tired or overwhelmed, remember that your body has been waiting for this basic care. That glass of water is a gift you give yourself, a way to start fresh, clear-headed, and energized. It's not about perfection or a big effort. It's about a small act of kindness toward yourself that grows into lasting health and vitality. Drinking water after waking is a foundation. It supports every other habit, every goal, and every challenge you face. When you're hydrated, your mind works better. Your body moves easier. Your mood lifts. You build momentum toward becoming the person you want to be. It's a habit that silently fuels success, because without fuel, even the strongest engine stalls. This simple act shows that change doesn't have to be complicated. It can start with something as natural as water, and from that beginning, everything else becomes possible. Number 5, do a 15-minute workout right after waking. Many people wake up feeling heavy, tired, and stuck before the day even begins. They drag themselves out of bed, hoping to gain energy from caffeine or breakfast, but often the sluggish feeling just stays with them. This is a reality most face because the body has been still for hours, and the blood flow is slow, muscles are stiff, and the brain is foggy. Moving right away, immediately after waking, feels like the last thing on their mind. But that's exactly the moment when movement matters most. Doing a simple 15-minute workout first thing changes everything. It shakes off the cobwebs, pumps life into your body, and awakens your mind in a way nothing else can. For many, the idea of exercising in the morning feels overwhelming or exhausting. They imagine sweating for an hour, feeling sore all day, or needing to be in perfect shape before starting. But that's a myth. 15 minutes is enough to ignite a transformation because it signals to your entire system that the day has begun. This small window of movement releases endorphins, your body's natural energy and mood boosters. You don't need fancy equipment or a gym membership. It's about starting with your body in its current state and gradually waking it up. When you get your blood flowing early, your brain starts working better. Oxygen rushes through your veins, clearing out the fog and sharpening your focus. You'll notice your thinking is quicker and your mood lifts. Your energy doesn't just spike for a short moment like caffeine, it stabilizes throughout the day. This effect is profound because energy is the fuel for productivity, motivation, and emotional resilience. Without it, you stumble through the day reacting to situations instead of handling them with clarity and calm. The benefits extend beyond energy and focus. Moving your body right after waking activates your metabolism, helping your body burn calories more efficiently all day long. It improves digestion, balances hormones, and supports your immune system. Many health problems linked to inactivity and poor circulation can be avoided or improved with consistent movement. This habit becomes a form of self-care that doesn't require a big investment of time or money, just a commitment to yourself. A 15-minute workout can be simple stretching, walking, bodyweight exercises like squats or push-ups, or even yoga. The goal is to move enough to break the stiffness and get your heart rate up slightly. This small effort sends a powerful message to your mind and body. You respect yourself, you're ready to face the day, and you're in control. When your body feels strong and awake, your confidence grows. That confidence influences how you carry yourself, the decisions you make, and how you respond to challenges. Many people give excuses. I don't have time, or I'm not a morning person. But this habit doesn't require time. You're only borrowing 15 minutes from the hours you already have. And being not a morning person is often a myth created by habits, not biology. Your body is designed to move and adapt. Once you start feeling the difference in your energy and mood, you'll realize mornings can be your strongest time, not your weakest. The hardest part is often just starting. Your body will resist at first because it's comfortable with inactivity. You might feel stiff or tired initially. But as days pass, movement becomes easier and you begin to crave it. That resistance is temporary. Pushing through builds discipline, and discipline creates freedom. You aren't controlled by tiredness or inertia, you master your body instead. Consistency is key. Doing a 15-minute workout once won't change much, but doing it every morning sets a foundation for lasting transformation. It builds momentum and forms a habit that becomes automatic. When this becomes part of your daily routine, your body feels alive, your mind is sharp, and your mood stays positive, even in tough moments. This habit also acts as a mental reset. It clears out worry and negative thoughts that can pile up overnight. When you move your body, your brain releases chemicals that reduce stress and anxiety. This gives you emotional balance, making it easier to face problems without feeling overwhelmed. It changes your mindset from "I'm tired and overwhelmed" to "I'm active and capable." Another benefit is that moving early reduces fatigue later in the day. Many people feel drained by afternoon because they've spent hours sitting or not moving enough. Starting with exercise reverses that trend by waking your muscles and circulation early. Your body stays energized longer, and you avoid that midday slump that drags down productivity and mood. This habit also affects your sleep quality. When you move your body in the morning, your internal clock resets more naturally. You'll find it easier to fall asleep at night and enjoy deeper rest. Better sleep fuels better mornings, creating a positive cycle that supports your energy and health every day. Beyond the physical, this habit impacts your self-image. Taking time for yourself first thing shows that you value your health and well-being. That respect influences your choices throughout the day, what you eat, how you spend your time, and who you spend it with. It builds a sense of pride and ownership over your life. For those new to exercise, starting gently is essential. There's no need to push hard or strain yourself. Focus on movement that feels good and builds gradually. Celebrate small wins like stretching more, walking a bit faster, or adding a few repetitions to an exercise. These small steps add up and create real change. You'll also notice how this habit impacts your relationships. When you feel energized and positive, you show up differently for the people around you. You listen better, communicate more clearly, and have more patience. Your energy lifts the whole environment, creating better connections and support. Finally, this habit teaches a vital lesson about choice and control. Every morning you decide whether to move or stay still. That choice reflects your commitment to yourself and your goals. It's a daily test of your ability to take charge of your life. When you consistently choose movement, you build a mindset of action rather than excuse. You train yourself to be a person who does what it takes, no matter how small the step. That's why a 15-minute workout after waking isn't just a physical routine. It's a powerful declaration that you're ready to live fully and actively. It's a habit that reshapes your body, sharpens your mind, and strengthens your spirit. When you commit to this habit, you transform how you experience every day, not through magic or willpower, but through simple, consistent action. That action is the key, because the smallest effort done repeatedly changes your life more than the biggest effort done once. When you make movement your morning ritual, you tap into a source of energy and confidence that fuels everything else you want to achieve. The body and mind become allies working together, and you become unstoppable. Number 6. Read 10 pages of a life-changing book. One of the most overlooked habits that can reshape your entire life happens quietly, without flashy promises or instant gratification. It's the simple act of reading 10 pages from a meaningful book every day. Think about how many mornings or evenings pass where the mind floats aimlessly through social media, news, or distractions that don't build you up. Most people never stop to consider that the words they consume can either imprison their thinking or expand it dramatically. Reading daily isn't just about gaining information, it's about changing the way you think, feel, and see the world. Life is constantly pulling your attention in 100 directions, often toward noise rather than substance. When you commit to reading 10 pages of a book that inspires, teaches, or challenges you, you create a moment of clarity and growth. This habit slowly rewires your mind. The ideas you absorb begin to shape your beliefs and decisions. You start seeing opportunities where before you saw obstacles. Your perspective widens, making room for new possibilities that were invisible before. For many, reading feels like a chore or an outdated practice in a world that values speed and instant answers. But here's the reality. The most successful people, the ones who change their lives and the lives of others, read consistently. They understand that knowledge and wisdom are seeds planted through the discipline of daily reading. Each page turned is a small investment in your future self, creating a foundation of understanding and confidence that can't be shaken easily. Reading 10 pages may seem like a small number, but it adds up fast. Over a week, that's 70 pages, a whole chapter or more in most books. In a month, you've read nearly a whole book. In a year, it's an entirely new library of ideas, strategies, and insights that can transform your thinking. This steady progress is important because transformation doesn't happen overnight. It comes from slow, consistent exposure to new ideas that reshape your habits, mindset, and actions. Choosing the right kind of book matters. Life-changing books don't have to be complicated or academic. They simply need to speak to your current needs and inspire growth. This could be books about personal development, leadership, emotional intelligence, or even biographies of people who overcame hardship. The goal is to feed your mind with material that pushes you toward your best self. Avoid books that drain your energy or reinforce limiting beliefs. Many people think they don't have time to read, but 10 pages often take less than 20 minutes. This small window is manageable and powerful. Reading becomes a pause, a break from the chaos, a moment to reset your mind and fuel your soul. It's not about rushing through pages, but absorbing and reflecting on what you read. This reflection allows the ideas to take root and influence your daily choices. When you read, your brain is active in ways that watching TV or scrolling online never engages. You're visualizing, imagining, questioning, and connecting dots. This mental workout strengthens your ability to think critically and solve problems. Over time, your communication skills improve because you're exposed to new vocabulary and ways of expressing ideas. This not only helps in conversations, but in how you approach challenges and opportunities in life. There's also a calming effect that reading brings. When you sit quietly with a book, your mind slows down. This can reduce stress and anxiety because you're no longer bombarded by endless distractions and worries. The habit creates a routine of peaceful focus, which is essential for mental health in a world that rarely stops moving. Reading life-changing books builds emotional resilience too. Many of these books share stories of struggle, failure, and success. When you connect with these stories, you realize that hardship is a normal part of growth. This understanding helps you face your own challenges with more patience and determination. You learn from others' experiences without having to endure everything yourself, which speeds up your personal progress. Another important aspect is that reading daily encourages lifelong learning. The world changes fast, and the people who succeed are those who never stop growing. Reading keeps your mind flexible and open to new ideas. It prevents stagnation and complacency, which are often the enemies of success. This habit creates a mindset that embraces change and continuous improvement. Starting this habit can feel difficult at first. The mind might resist focusing on something without immediate entertainment or reward. But persistence pays off. As you read more, your interest grows and the habit becomes easier. You begin to crave that quiet time of discovery and growth. You'll notice how reading makes you more confident in discussions and decision-making because you have a richer base of knowledge to draw from. You don't have to be a fast reader or an expert to benefit. The key is consistency and intention. Pick a book that excites you or challenges you to think differently. Set a time and place that becomes your reading routine. Some people read first thing in the morning to set the tone for the day, others before bed to wind down. The important thing is making it a priority and protecting that time from distractions. This habit also teaches patience and focus, two qualities that are invaluable in every area of life. When you learn to focus on a book for 10 pages, you're training your brain to avoid scattered attention. This skill translates to better productivity and deeper understanding in work and relationships. Moreover, reading life-changing books expands your worldview. You're exposed to perspectives, cultures, and ideas that may be very different from your own. This broadens your empathy and understanding, making you a more thoughtful and effective person. You'll find that your ability to connect with others improves because you have a richer understanding of life's complexities. This habit is a form of self-investment. You're dedicating time and attention to your own growth, which sends a message to yourself that you matter. When you value your mind and feed it well, you'll find other areas of your life improve. Your energy, focus, and mood are all tied to how well you nurture your thoughts and beliefs. Finally, reading 10 pages daily builds momentum. It's a simple action with huge compound effects. It sets off a chain reaction where knowledge breeds confidence, confidence leads to action, and action produces results. This process is how ordinary people create extraordinary lives. Not by luck, but by the steady work of daily habits that improve their mind and spirit. This habit isn't just about books, it's about reclaiming control over your mind and future. It's about choosing to grow rather than remain stuck in the same patterns. When you commit to reading 10 pages a day, you're choosing progress, insight, and a life that gets better every single day. The impact of this habit reaches far beyond the pages. It shapes your character, your decisions, and your destiny. Number 7. Journal your thoughts and feelings every evening. There is a truth many ignore. Your mind can get heavy by the end of the day. It carries a weight made up of worries, successes, failures, regrets, and hopes, all tangled together. Most people just let this weight pile up inside, which clouds their thinking and drains their energy. What if you could release that burden every single evening? Not by talking to someone else, but by putting your thoughts and feelings on paper. This habit of journaling every evening is not just a task, it's a powerful way to clear your mind, process your emotions, and create clarity for tomorrow. Every day, your brain works non-stop. It sorts through problems at work, relationships, deadlines, and decisions you must make. It stores memories, both good and bad, and plays back conversations or what-ifs that haunt you long after the moment has passed. When night falls and you lie down to rest, your mind often races instead of slowing. Thoughts swirl, making it hard to sleep or feel calm. This is because your brain has no natural off switch. It needs a way to unload. Writing your thoughts and feelings down each evening acts like a mental dump. It takes all the noise in your head and puts it in front of you, organized and visible. When you do this regularly, you begin to see patterns. You notice what's really bothering you, what worries you keep revisiting, and what achievements you might be overlooking. This habit trains your brain to stop cycling through endless loops of thinking and instead channel that energy into reflection and understanding. Many resist journaling because they think it requires perfect writing or deep psychological insight. That's far from the truth. Journaling is not about crafting an essay or impressing anyone. It's about honesty with yourself. Write down what you felt during the day, what made you angry or happy, what you're afraid of or grateful for. This simple act creates a connection between your mind and your emotions that is often missing in everyday life. Emotionally, this habit has a grounding effect. By naming your feelings and putting them on paper, you acknowledge them instead of pushing them away or letting them stew inside. This reduces anxiety and stress because emotions are no longer trapped in your body, they are expressed and understood. You'll find that some worries shrink just by writing about them, and some fears lose their power when faced directly. Even more, journaling helps you celebrate progress, even if it's small. In the rush of daily life, it's easy to overlook the good things you've done or the lessons learned from mistakes. When you write about your day, you can highlight victories, recognize growth, and remind yourself why you're moving forward. This positive reinforcement builds confidence and motivation. The act of journaling also sharpens your self-awareness. You become more tuned into your thoughts, reactions, and behaviors. This self-awareness is the first step toward change because you cannot fix what you don't recognize. By regularly reflecting on your day, you learn which habits or patterns are holding you back and which ones are pushing you ahead. This knowledge empowers you to make better choices moving forward. Consistency is key with this habit. Writing one day won't change your life, but doing it every evening will. Over time, your journal becomes a record of your personal journey, your challenges, your breakthroughs, your growth. Reading back through past entries reveals how far you've come and can reignite your determination when you feel stuck. There's also a calming routine that journaling creates. When you sit down with your journal before bed, you are telling your brain it's time to slow down and prepare for rest. This intentional pause helps separate the chaos of the day from the calm of the night. The simple physical act of writing focuses your attention and quiets the mental noise, making it easier to fall asleep peacefully. For those who struggle with negative self-talk or harsh judgment, journaling offers a way to be kinder to yourself. You can write without filters or fear of criticism. This safe space encourages compassion and understanding toward your own struggles. Over time, this can heal old wounds and build emotional resilience. If you feel stuck about what to write, start with 3 simple questions. What happened today? How did I feel? What did I learn? These prompts guide your thoughts without overwhelming you. As the habit grows, you'll naturally find your own rhythm and topics that matter most to you. Journaling is not just about the past day, it also prepares you for tomorrow. Writing your thoughts helps you set intentions, clarify your goals, and identify obstacles. This practice keeps your mind focused on what's important, reducing distraction and increasing productivity. Some people use journaling as a creative outlet. They write stories, poems, or ideas that inspire them. Others prefer bullet points or lists. The form doesn't matter. What matters is the connection you build with your inner world through this daily ritual. There's a unique power in putting pen to paper that digital devices can't replace. Writing by hand engages your brain differently, making your reflections more vivid and memorable. It slows down your thinking just enough to deepen understanding. Journaling every evening also builds discipline and commitment to yourself. In a world full of external demands, choosing to spend this quiet time alone, fully focused on your thoughts, is a form of self-respect. It says you matter enough to invest in your mental and emotional health. The transformation this habit brings is gradual but profound. You become less reactive and more thoughtful. You handle challenges with greater calm and clarity. Your relationships improve because you understand yourself better and communicate more honestly. Your confidence grows because you see your progress clearly laid out. Most importantly, journaling creates a feedback loop. The more you write, the more you learn. The more you learn, the better you grow. The better you grow, the more motivated you become to keep going. This cycle turns journaling from a simple habit into a life-changing practice. Many people underestimate how powerful this habit can be simply because it feels quiet and personal. But real change often happens in these quiet moments when you confront your truth. Journaling is a tool that turns your internal world from a source of confusion and stress into a place of clarity and strength. When you journal your thoughts and feelings every evening, you are giving yourself a gift. You create space for healing, understanding, and growth. You clear the clutter from your mind so you can move forward with purpose and peace. This habit is a foundation for lasting change because it helps you face yourself honestly and bravely every day. Number 8. Cut out junk food and eat clean meals. Many people live their lives trapped in a cycle of poor eating habits, convincing themselves that quick processed foods are the only convenient option. It's a reality that's all too common, rushing through the day, grabbing whatever's easy, often packed with chemicals, sugar, and unhealthy fats that leave the body drained instead of energized. This constant intake of junk food silently chips away at your physical and mental strength. The first harsh truth to face is that what you eat directly impacts your energy levels, your clarity of mind, your mood, and your overall ability to take on the challenges each day brings. Choosing to cut out junk food and eat clean meals is not just about physical health. It's about reclaiming control over your life and setting yourself up for sustained success. Many don't realize how much their food choices influence their mindset and productivity. When your body is fueled with poor quality foods, you'll feel sluggish, irritable, and foggy. This dullness is not a sign of laziness. It's the natural reaction of your body struggling to function on low-quality fuel. Eating clean meals means nourishing yourself with whole, unprocessed ingredients that your body recognizes and can efficiently turn into energy. Think about how it feels when you put high-octane fuel into a car versus low-quality gasoline. Your body is no different. It runs smoother and stronger on the right fuel. Cutting out junk food can feel overwhelming at first. The cravings for sugar, salt, and processed snacks don't just disappear overnight. That's the challenge. It's a mental and physical battle. But making this change means winning that battle day after day. Each clean meal you eat is a victory. Each time you resist the urge to grab a bag of chips or a sugary soda, you build your willpower and prove to yourself that you are in charge. This discipline spills over into other parts of life because food habits are often the gateway to self-control in many areas. Eating clean also sharpens your senses and heightens your awareness. When the body isn't bogged down with junk, your taste buds begin to awaken. Natural flavors from fresh vegetables, fruits, and lean proteins become more satisfying. You start to notice the difference in texture, aroma, and taste that you missed before. This sensory awakening changes your relationship with food. It becomes something to enjoy, appreciate, and use as fuel rather than a quick fix for boredom or stress. Another powerful effect is how clean eating transforms your mood. Foods loaded with artificial ingredients and sugars cause spikes and crashes in your blood sugar levels. These fluctuations affect your brain chemistry, leading to mood swings, anxiety, and irritability. By switching to clean meals, you stabilize these levels and create a calmer, more balanced mental state. This steadiness allows you to think clearer, handle stress better, and stay focused on what truly matters during your day. The physical transformation is just as striking. Clean eating supports your body's natural ability to repair and maintain itself. You'll notice your skin looks healthier, your digestion improves, and your overall vitality increases. These changes are not just superficial, they affect your confidence and how you carry yourself in the world. Feeling good in your body fuels a positive feedback loop. When you look better, you feel better, and when you feel better, you take better care of yourself. Meal planning becomes a key part of this habit. Preparing clean meals ahead of time removes the temptation of quick junk food grabs. Planning allows you to control exactly what goes into your body, ensuring every bite serves a purpose. When you know what you'll eat in advance, there's less stress and less chance of falling back into old habits. This proactive approach brings a sense of calm and readiness to your day, much like having a roadmap for success. There's also a mental shift that happens when you prioritize clean eating. Food stops being just a source of pleasure or comfort and becomes a tool for empowerment. You realize that each meal is an opportunity to invest in your future health and performance. This mindset change transforms food from an enemy or temptation into an ally. When you respect what you put into your body, you respect yourself more deeply. Social situations can test this habit, no doubt. Parties, work lunches, or family dinners often revolve around less than healthy options. Choosing to eat clean in these moments requires courage and commitment. But this challenge is also a chance to practice self-respect and set boundaries. Explaining your choices, or simply sticking to them quietly, sends a message to yourself and others that your well-being is a priority. Over time, those around you may even be inspired to rethink their own eating habits. Emotional eating is another obstacle many face. Turning to junk food when feeling stressed, lonely, or tired is a common pattern. Recognizing this tendency is the first step to breaking it. Instead of using food to numb emotions, finding healthier coping strategies like journaling, walking, or talking to a friend supports both emotional and physical health. Eating clean fuels your body and clears your mind, making it easier to deal with emotions constructively. It's important to remember that clean eating doesn't have to be complicated or expensive. Simple meals with fresh vegetables, lean proteins like chicken or fish, Whole grains and healthy fats like nuts or olive oil provide everything your body needs. Cooking at home gives you control over ingredients and portion sizes. Even small changes like swapping soda for water or chips for fruit start a ripple effect of improvement in your health and energy. When junk food is removed and replaced with clean meals, the benefits accumulate quickly. Energy levels rise, sleep quality improves, and the ability to focus strengthens. These changes create momentum. Each day you fuel your body well, you strengthen your resolve, and deepen your commitment to this new lifestyle. This momentum turns a simple habit into a foundation for lasting change. Cutting out junk food also means listening to your body in a new way. Hunger and fullness signals become clearer, and cravings lose their control. You learn to eat because your body needs nourishment, not just because your mind is restless. This mindful eating brings peace and balance to your relationship with food. This habit is not about perfection or rigid rules. It's about consistent progress. Every meal is a choice, and every choice builds a healthier you. The power lies in taking control of what you put into your body, because that decision affects everything else: your thoughts, your actions, and your future. When you cut out junk food and commit to clean meals, you create a strong foundation for your life. Your body becomes a reliable partner instead of a source of frustration. This shift opens the door to more energy, clearer thinking, better mood, and a deeper sense of well-being. The path isn't always easy, but the rewards are worth every effort. This habit is a step toward living the life you want, full of vitality, focus, and strength. Number 9. Spend 1 hour daily learning a new skill. It's easy to get caught up in the daily grind, feeling like there's never enough time to improve yourself or reach new heights. Most people live each day reacting to whatever comes their way instead of taking the reins of their own growth. They tell themselves, "I'm too busy," or "I'll learn that later," and days turn into weeks, weeks into months, without moving forward. This is a reality that many face, feeling stuck or overwhelmed by the idea of change. But here's the honest truth. Dedicating just 1 hour every day to learning a new skill can completely alter the trajectory of your life. It's not about giant leaps all at once. It's about consistent, focused progress that compounds over time. Learning something new daily sharpens the mind like nothing else. When you engage in a new skill, your brain creates fresh connections, increasing your ability to think critically and solve problems. This mental exercise keeps you alert and adaptable. It doesn't matter if the skill is related to your career, a hobby, or even a language. Each new challenge stretches your capacity and builds confidence. This process is more than just accumulating knowledge. It's about becoming more capable in all areas of life. Many people underestimate how powerful 1 hour a day can be. Think about it. 60 minutes of focused learning, uninterrupted, can lead to mastery faster than sporadic, unfocused attempts. The key is to commit to that hour without distractions, creating a habit that becomes a non-negotiable part of your daily routine. That hour is your investment, your time bank, building skills that serve you for a lifetime. The hardest part is starting. Once you overcome the initial resistance and feel the progress, that hour becomes something you look forward to rather than dread. There is also a psychological boost that comes from learning. Progress releases dopamine, a feel-good chemical in your brain. This natural reward reinforces your habit, making you want to continue. When you dedicate time each day to learning, you create a positive cycle of motivation and achievement. This cycle builds momentum and transforms your mindset from fixed to growth-oriented. You begin to see yourself as someone capable of change and improvement, which breaks down limiting beliefs. One of the biggest challenges is finding the right skill to focus on. It doesn't have to be monumental. It can be something small but meaningful, like improving communication skills, mastering a software tool, or learning how to manage your finances better. The important part is that it aligns with your goals and interests. When the skill you choose matters to you personally, the time invested feels valuable and energizing rather than a chore. This habit also teaches patience and discipline. Skills don't develop overnight. There will be moments of frustration, mistakes, and slow progress. Accepting this as part of the journey is essential. Persistence over time produces results. Those who quit too early miss the chance to experience the breakthrough that lies just beyond their current limits. This endurance, built through daily learning, strengthens your character and builds resilience. As you accumulate new skills, you increase your value in many areas professionally and personally. You become more adaptable in your job, more interesting in conversations, and more capable of handling unexpected challenges. This broadens your opportunities and opens doors that once seemed closed. The confidence gained from learning also enhances your communication and leadership abilities. You begin to take more initiative and inspire others around you. The environment you create around this habit matters. Find a quiet space, free from distractions, where you can fully immerse yourself in the learning process. Turn off notifications and let people around you know this is your dedicated time. The quality of focus during that hour will determine how much you gain. Even small pockets of undisturbed time add up when used intentionally. Incorporating tools and resources that fit your learning style makes the process more enjoyable. Some prefer books, others videos or online courses. Some learn best by doing, practicing the skill hands-on. Whatever method suits you, embrace it fully. This personal approach to learning respects your unique way of absorbing information and keeps you engaged longer. Accountability is another powerful motivator. Sharing your learning goals with a friend, mentor, or community can push you to stick to your commitment. Regular check-ins create a sense of responsibility that helps prevent procrastination. Celebrating small wins along the way fuels motivation and reinforces the habit. Over time, this accountability system becomes a safety net that supports your progress. The benefits extend beyond the skill itself. Engaging daily in learning improves memory, sharpens focus, and enhances creativity. You begin to connect ideas across different areas of your life more easily. This mental flexibility is a competitive edge in any field. It also enriches your conversations and broadens your worldview, making life more interesting and fulfilling. Don't let fear hold you back from starting. Many people hesitate because they worry they're too old, too busy, or not smart enough. None of these are true barriers. Anyone can learn something new with the right mindset and consistent effort. The brain is incredibly adaptable, capable of growth throughout life. Committing 1 hour daily is an investment in your potential, not just a task on a to-do list. The sense of accomplishment that comes from daily learning creates a powerful foundation for lifelong growth. This habit becomes part of your identity. You no longer see learning as something occasional or difficult, but as a natural, enjoyable part of your routine. This shift changes how you approach challenges and opportunities in every area of your life. It's important to be flexible too. Some days you may feel tired or distracted, but even on those days, doing something small is better than nothing. The consistency matters more than intensity. Over time, the small steps create giant leaps in skill and confidence. Spending 1 hour daily learning a new skill also encourages curiosity. When you feed your mind regularly, you become more interested in exploring new ideas and perspectives. This curiosity leads to innovation and personal growth. You become someone who seeks out opportunities rather than waiting for them to come. The transformation that comes from this habit is gradual but undeniable. You'll look back after weeks and months and see a different version of yourself, more knowledgeable, more skilled, and more confident. This version is prepared to handle life's complexities with greater ease and clarity. Ultimately, dedicating 1 hour each day to learning is an act of self-respect and personal empowerment. It signals to yourself and the world that you value growth and are willing to put in the effort. This commitment builds a foundation that supports every goal you have and every dream you want to pursue. It's a simple habit with the power to change everything. Number 10. Reflect on your progress before going to sleep. There's a moment each day many people miss when the world slows down, the noise fades, and the mind finally has space to breathe. Yet, for most, this moment is wasted, filled with distractions or worry instead of purpose and awareness. Life feels rushed, and before you know it, the day ends without real understanding of what you've accomplished or where you're heading. This is a common struggle, and it's the reason why so many people feel lost or stuck. They don't take the time to look back on their day and see what worked, what didn't, and how far they've come. The truth is that spending time reflecting on your progress each night is a habit that can profoundly change your mindset and your life. Reflection isn't about judgment or criticism. It's about honest observation. When you pause and review your day, you allow yourself to see patterns, both positive and negative, that you might miss in the rush of daily life. This habit helps you become more self-aware, which is the foundation of personal growth. It gives you a clear picture of your efforts, your challenges, and your wins. Over time, this clarity helps you make smarter decisions and build momentum toward your goals. Most people overlook this simple yet powerful step because it requires slowing down and facing reality head-on. It's easier to distract yourself with entertainment, social media, or restless thoughts than to sit quietly and examine what really happened. But without this honest review, you stay disconnected from your true progress. You lose track of what moves you forward and what holds you back. Reflection bridges that gap. At the end of the day, your mind is full of details, things you planned, conversations you had, tasks completed, and moments you wished were different. Taking time to reflect allows you to sort through this mental clutter. It's like clearing the lens so you can see your journey clearly. This clarity helps you appreciate your growth, no matter how small it might seem, and encourages you to keep going. Reflection also helps you take responsibility for your choices. When you examine your actions and their outcomes, you realize you have control over much more than you thought. You see where you succeeded because of your effort, and where you slipped because of distraction or hesitation. This awareness shifts your mindset from blaming outside circumstances to focusing on what you can change within yourself. It's empowering to know that your progress depends largely on your daily decisions. In this moment of quiet reflection, you can also reconnect with your goals and your why. It's easy to forget the bigger picture when life gets busy. Reviewing your progress before sleep helps you stay aligned with your true priorities. It reminds you of the reasons you're pushing yourself, which fuels motivation. This connection between your daily actions and long-term vision keeps you focused and driven. The process of reflecting doesn't need to be complicated. It can be as simple as asking yourself a few key questions. What did I accomplish today? What challenges did I face? What can I improve tomorrow? What am I grateful for? Writing down your answers in a journal or notebook strengthens this habit. Putting your thoughts on paper makes them more concrete and allows you to track your growth over time. Seeing your progress in black and white builds confidence and motivation. Reflection also softens the impact of setbacks. Everyone faces difficulties and failures. When you reflect, you see these moments not as permanent defeats, but as temporary lessons. This perspective reduces frustration and keeps you moving forward instead of getting stuck. It teaches resilience, the ability to bounce back stronger each day. Another benefit of reflecting before sleep is better rest. When your mind is clear about the day's events and you've made peace with what happened, it's easier to let go of worries. This mental release improves sleep quality. A good night's rest, in turn, prepares you to face the next day with energy and focus. Reflection becomes part of a healthy cycle of growth and renewal. Building this habit requires intention. It's helpful to create a specific routine, perhaps spending 10 to 15 minutes before bed reviewing your day. Find a quiet space where you won't be interrupted. Turn off screens and distractions. Focus entirely on this moment of self-examination. Over time, this routine becomes a trusted ritual that signals to your brain it's time to wind down and reflect. Reflection also strengthens emotional intelligence. By paying attention to how you felt during the day and why, you understand your emotional triggers and responses better. This awareness helps you manage emotions more effectively and improves your relationships. You become more patient with yourself and others. Don't wait for perfect conditions to start this habit. Some days will be harder than others. You might feel tired or overwhelmed. Still, making the effort to reflect even briefly is better than skipping it entirely. Consistency, not perfection, is the key. Each night you spend time reflecting builds a stronger foundation for success. As you continue this habit, you'll notice a shift in how you see your life. You'll start recognizing progress that was invisible before. Small victories that once seemed insignificant become stepping stones to bigger achievements. You'll learn to celebrate your efforts and acknowledge growth, which creates a positive feedback loop of motivation and confidence. Reflection also deepens your understanding of yourself. You discover strengths and weaknesses you weren't fully aware of. This insight allows you to make better choices about your time, energy, and focus. You stop spinning your wheels and start moving with purpose. When you integrate reflection into your daily routine, you take control of your story. You become the author of your life, not just a character reacting to circumstances. This ownership is liberating and inspiring. It reminds you that every day offers a new opportunity to learn, grow, and improve. Ultimately, the habit of reflecting on your progress before sleep creates a powerful foundation for continuous growth. It brings clarity, responsibility, and motivation into your life. It builds resilience and emotional strength, and it prepares you for the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead. This simple practice is a game changer. It turns ordinary days into meaningful steps toward a better future. And it proves that real change doesn't require magic, just commitment, honesty, and a willingness to look back so you can move forward.